Right, it is 9:47 a.m. and I've had two trades so far. The first one was GGII. This one ended up being a bit of a scrap. I think I've learned over a longer period of time that whenever a multi-day runner OTC has a gap up, it's just always something you should take with a lot of skepticism because it just seems to trade the most sketchy on a gap up day. But it did have one right here because the previous day closed at 82 and then we were opening now at 1 penny. And I was in it because I thought maybe it was going to do a morning spike and try to regain itself after having such a massively ugly red day the previous day with very little, if not, absolutely no opportunity for a real bounce to be a part of. It just kept downtrending. You can say maybe it had a bounce from this 11 level as high as this attempt towards 13, but that's not really that good considering what it could have done, especially because it was as high as this, 19.8 level, and then it dropped almost 50%. So it didn't really offer that much of a bounce at all. And then I was looking at it today for that potential morning spike and everything, and I was long at 104 at 9:31, which was right here. 104 when it was showing that it was really trying to uptrend right here at 9:31, and it did uptrend. It did get as high as this 11 level, but I did sell. I think I might have needed more shares, perhaps to trade a proper $40 risk level, but I did sell the same minute at 108 because it just got as high as this level right here. There was a lot of sellers at the ask. The price action was looking a bit off. I got out. It started the downtrend. I haven't really been looking at this since. Maybe this is a double bottom or something, but I don't necessarily want to trade this one very much because it's been like really ugly most of the time. Maybe this one's different when it uptrends for more than a few days. It just kind of starts to look kind of weird, but maybe this thing can offer something else and I'll be watching it. And then I did trade DPLS because this was like a morning panic bounce play, a slow one. And it wasn't the best one because this thing is a gap down. So um, not necessarily a gap down, but I mean it had a gap up and then it from that gap up price point it went lower. As you can see, the previous close was 36.7, but we opened higher at 38.7, and it starts to downtrend from the 38s as low as the 34s. I did get in. This was a relatively easy trade. At 9:38, I was in it at 346. Yeah, right here. And that was after it broke past the trend line and it started the uptrend. Worst case scenario would have been that I'm in at 346. It comes back to the day low and then it breaks it. But if it were to have maybe downtrended and then made a higher low off of the panic button, that wouldn't have been a problem. And I did sell this one in pieces. I did try to be more patient with it. At 942, I did sell my first piece, but it was only 3,000 shares out of the 8,000. I sold some at 35 because I didn't like how it was just uptrending without any real red price action. So I was kind of worried that, while it is uptrending and everything, if there's like a big red candle or something like that, if there's some actual selling price action, it might bring it all the way down. And I did sell a piece there. I sold 1,000 shares, which is tiny, at 352, and that was at 945. So right here, I sold some at 352, and then I sold my last piece the next minute at 946 at 352 as well. Why? Well, it doesn't show it anymore, but when I had the chart, VWAP downtrended from this 358 level to this 353 level, and I guess that's the reason why I got out, because it just calculated it as it's being the new VWAP level. And of course, my goal is always to sell at that VWAP level, and if it can get above it, that's great. But I didn't like, again, how it was uptrending with no red price action, and it looks like VWAP just moved from this level to here, but it's not the case anymore after I reloaded this chart right here. So I'll make an update later. I'll keep looking at DPLS and GGII, as well as, I guess maybe we have a new runner, GTII. Yeah, I'll make an update later. Okay, it is 11:09 p.m. and I am here to call it off. Overall, I'm going to be up on the day $8.05, and that was just two trades, a lot better than the previous day, Monday, where I had 7 freaking trades. I took a bunch of L's and I was down 7.90. Nice to make $8.05, even though the setups did not really work out as well as it could have. It was just two trades. And I was actually undersized. I needed to have had more shares. So for an example, this one I would have needed 15,000 shares. And this one maybe 12. Just looking back and seeing what I could have done better. Could have been up a bit more if I traded the right amount of shares, but the setups kind of worked. They just didn't really offer that much opportunity. Again, the thing with DPLS, it did uptrend, and then there was this red price action that brought it back down very quickly. I have a closer chart of DPLS right here. It was exactly what I thought it was going to do. That it was just uptrending, and then it didn't have that much selling price action. And then once it did sell off pretty harshly. So I think that was a pretty good call. And then I had that other trade with GGII way in the beginning. And I'm very happy that I never tried to buy this one after yesterday's experience of this one not being able to offer any kind of a bounce setup. Even this inverse head and shoulder, head, shoulder didn't really work out that well. It's just not a good stock to consider dip buying because it just doesn't show the opportunity to bounce. It just keeps selling off, and it's totally fine. It doesn't, have to work out. Every single one has to, be able to offer something towards the upside. I think this one is GGII. Yep, this was my trade right here in the morning. It was a good attempt. It just wasn't able to break past the 11 level. That's pretty much it for today. There wasn't really anything else that I was interested in. Again, didn't want to consider GGII for a dip buy. This one was uptrending, and it did offer a bull flag setup. I could have taken something like this. I don't regret it too much because it was trading really ugly with a wide spread, but that's just the way this one trades. I was looking at it though. It just didn't really offer opportunity for me to pull the trigger, and it is kind of scary the way this one trades with that spread. And DPLS, I guess it did downtrend and get above VWAP, but this isn't something I would have considered, especially because it wasn't like at around 11 a.m. This was much later. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. I think I was interested in GEGI when it had this price action at uptrend, and then it went under VWAP, and I thought I could get above it and then continue the option, but this was some weird price action, but it was something that it did a bit later in the day. That's pretty much it. I think there weren't that many setups that were that nice, but I think I did a lot better than I was yesterday.